Hello everybody, and just here and welcome back to Spice and Wolf episode 7. We are already nowhere not past halfway through the season because the season is 25 episodes. Immediately corrected myself. But yeah, episode 7. I think that's better. Episode 7 is here, and we are starting a new arc, essentially. The previous episode was a nice closure to the arc that we had, and now we're starting a new one. That's how it's probably gonna look, right? 6 episodes per arc, maybe. We'll see. It would fit, it would make sense, right? 25 episodes, 4 arcs, plus an episode of an epilogue. Something like that, maybe? I don't know, we'll see. In any case, in the previous episode, Lawrence and Holo were hiding in a sewer, running away from their pursuers. Unfortunately, they did not manage to hide and run for too long. They were very quickly, well, not very quickly, but quickly enough, they were found by Yarei's men. And Yarei made an offer to Lawrence, offer that he seemingly could not refuse, right? Join us, get all the riches, we're gonna get, tax exemptions and tariff exemptions for wheat trading, yada yada yada, and you will be our exclusive wheat trader, you're gonna have the right to, buy it first, etc, etc, you're gonna make so much money, just give Holo to us. That doesn't fly. That's not gonna fly with Lawrence, and it didn't. It didn't, of course, he refused. And, yeah. And Holo had to protect them. She had to get a lick of Lawrence's blood after Yarei turned around and told his men to kill the man and capture the woman. Holo got a little bit of Lawrence's blood, transformed into a big wolf, and defeated their attackers. I'm not sure if she killed them, probably not. She's not a particularly vengeful deity, is she? And they managed to escape. Lawrence managed to escape. We didn't know for some time what happened to Holo exactly. She ran away, and Lawrence, of course, thought that she left him. We, the audience, were also supposed to believe that, yes, she left, and maybe they're gonna meet in the future, maybe they're not gonna meet, although it wouldn't be much of a show if she didn't appear any time soon, right? And sure enough, when Lawrence recuperated and woke up in a bed, he got a whatchamacallit, a slip of paper with things that were purchased in his name. And who could have done it if not Holo, right? She got herself a comb, she got herself a bunch of apples, she got a couple other things for trade, I believe, as well. So, she got herself clothes, right? That's also important. Because Lawrence told her that, yeah, you don't get to go away, you tore the clothes, you need to pay me back. She did. She did, and then some. So now they are stocked with pepper, with apples, with a comb, and they can move forth to their next adventures on the way up north. And where will those adventures take them? We don't know. I mean, we can assume that they're gonna meet the shepherd, from the shepherd girl from the opening, because the title of this episode is what is it? Mage of the pastures, something like that, right? Something along those lines. And shepherd has a staff, and it's mage of the pastures, right? Able to enchant their flock and direct them at will as if they were minions. So probably we're gonna meet the girl, and the next 6 episodes will be spent with her. Maybe the village has some issues, monetary that Lawrence might be able to solve. Maybe they're gonna be trying to figure out how to trade wool. Maybe there's some conspiracy trying to lower the price of wool because cotton is a competing material newly introduced by the local lord. I don't know. Something is gonna happen with the commerce aspect. For sure, probably a little sprinkling of magic as well. So, I guess to see that we will need to watch this episode, and to do that you will need your subs, of course, to follow along with me. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on in the show, and I'm gonna have to ask you for support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, YouTube down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word, costs you nothing, helps a lot. And with that, we can start watching episode 7 of Spice and Wolf in 3, 2, 1, go. Sure enough, sheep. And some lines in the forest, wolves. Probably. And Gandalf the Brown. Is that going to be the theme? Chasing wolves away, Holo being a wolf, being also affected by the sound of the horn? Or maybe Holo arguing for the rights of wolves, right? Oh, wolves have to eat something, so let them eat your flock. I don't know, maybe. Like, Holo is exceedingly human. Like, absolutely. But she is still a wolf, right? So it wouldn't surprise me if she were to actually argue in favor of wolves. It would be a nice little bit of a reminder that, hey, you know, she looks like a regular normal girl, but she's a fucking wolven deity. And don't you forget that. We'll see, maybe. Yeah, that's Holo, and those were the wolves of the forest, I believe. Though I guess she herself does prefer apples to mutton nowadays. Shedding? You could always go to the forest and hunt, right? Which one? There's plenty. Funny you mentioned sheeps, eh? Unfamiliar with the concept of pies? Who might you be with this weird backpack of yours? I was expecting a village, not a full-blown fortified city. Of course, someone on the city center proselytizing. Why? Do they not get enough traffic to warrant food stalls? Ah, of course. Yeah, the classic preaching about whatchamacallit, uh, frugality being a virtue, and all the temples are laden with gold. Hmm. Of course. He was probably wearing clothes, hence the fiber. I mean, yeah, you're not one to kill people. Food. Or new clothes. Or new clothes. True. No argument there. Is it a good idea to visit, like, the fucking Vatican with what they consider the second coming of Satan as your companion? Pickled? What do you mean, pickled apples? Okay, I guess that could be nice. No hat is stopping those ears. Another reason to hate the church. You must become rich. For your wife. She really likes apples. Yeah, let's just buy one of each. Yeah, man. You never know who could be I don't know, a wolf deity in disguise, right? You never know with people nowadays. Yeah, let's cut down the preaching. Pepper. Hmm. Right. Yeah, let's take this scale that is not tampered with. He's a man of God. Let's treat him as God said that we should treat our fellow men, right? Ah, okay. She wants to speak with Lawrence alone for a moment. That's not a lot. He made more on Martin Furs. Oh, no, they were talking silver back then. This is gold coins. uh, that means it's a bad price. Hmm? Okay, what's the water gonna accomplish? Ah! The table itself is crooked! Oh, that's genius. You don't need to have your scales tampered with. If the table is crooked. She turned wine into water. And here I thought that he grabbed the one scale that wasn't tampered with. And he created an illusion that he's being truthful by even asking him for his own scales. And even if Lawrence had his own scale, it would still be tampered with. Huh. Oh. Hmm. Grand Northern Expedition. What do you mean by that? Do humans like regularly travel north to fend off demons or something? Okay, we're gonna be able to get a nice little discount on food. Or even food for free. Couldn't ask for more. I don't. True. So is the entire room crooked or just the table? Yeah, don't move your tail. Yes, exactly. One of the church's virtues. Hmm. Oh no, not Wolven God! Oh no! Yeah, I hope Holo is safe and sound. Yeah, she is. That's good. Yeah, there is plenty indeed. Groom it for me. Ah. Another demand. Yep, sure enough. How could he ever say no? Doesn't alcohol and food cost nothing this time around? True. She did save him from being scammed. I mean, you can always indebt yourself again. In what exactly, I wonder? I mean, just pay her a wage at this point, really. She is your assistant, she is helping you on the road. Might as well. Ah, of course. I mean, yeah, they take the least space. They're light. They're rare enough to make you some nice profit. Okay, so they would have just made 0, if that. Yeah, those always seem like a good bet. Of course. They do. That's why the tariffs are high. Seal of the Church. Cool. Okay, you just get a stamp on your gold bar and it automatically doubles in price. Amazing fucking system. 10 times, even better. Yeah. Well, put your hood up. Merchants. An impromptu market? Well, that shouldn't be a problem. Those ears can hear. Let's go to the wolves. Yeah, probably. One howl and it's done. Yeah, wait until you enter the forest. Ah, the shepherd. True. It's getting windy. I should probably close my window. I love the fact that she has such a hatred of shepherds. They might very well be one and the same. What's that gesture? Are shepherds like important in your society? Can she sense that Holo is a wolf? Is she mute? She's a cutie. Oh, Holo's gonna be so jealous. She's gonna be so jealous. Not only a shepherd, she's also pretty. So, what could be the plot of this arc, I wonder? Probably helping get rid of the wolves from the forest? Or, as I thought initially, the conflict of wolves versus humans that was already hinted at, right? Early on, when Lawrence said that some of his companions were killed by wolves, and Holo said that some of her companions were killed by humans. Right? There is that very clear humans versus wolves conflict in place. Like, thematically in this show. It's not often that it resurfaces, but it certainly does exist. Okay. Nice slice of life episode. Fellow traveler and foreboding news. What could the foreboding news be? War incoming? Demons attacking the south? Something like that, probably. I mean, why would there be mercenaries if not for war? I don't know, maybe. We haven't really seen any, like, world scale conflict yet, or, like, even just local area scale conflict. Let's watch it again, shall we? Let's see. Yeah, that's the sorceress of the sheep. I wonder if there actually is a magical aspect to being a shepherd. There are like special rituals that Lawrence told us about, so wouldn't surprise me if there was actually some sort of a magical aspect to being a shepherd. Where is it? Spice and wolf. Being... no. Shepherds are somehow magical. Maybe it's the power to control the flock, maybe it's the sense to sense wolves, maybe it's the magic bell that does something. There's something to them, for sure. The magic horn, although realistically it's probably just a horn that the wolves have learned to fear, right? Because if they hear the horn and they don't go away, then there are consequences of that, and they have learned. Maybe. Yeah, that's the shepherd girl. Yeah, she's not shedding all that much. I know, my cat is shedding. And when I just, if I just pet her, she has her favorite table that she sleeps on. If I just pet her, the entire fucking wall is encased in black fur. I could legitimately be making scarves out of her fur. I have like a silicone brush that I use to brush her, and one brushing session, and it's like a centimeter layer of her fucking hair compressed into felt. Yeah, you can serve someone as cute as myself, should you not feel honored as a male. Fresh and bloody cow or sheep. She is a wolf, and don't you dare forget that. Like, sure, she enjoys her apples, she enjoys her apple pies, she enjoys her peaches glazed with honey, but ultimately, she also enjoys her bloody carcass of a sheep. Who's that dude? Just a traveler? Just a maybe a merchant? What's that on his backpack? Like a oil lamp maybe? For night travels? Maybe just a pot to boil some water or something. I don't know, doesn't matter. I thought he's gonna be like a little bit relevant here, but no, apparently not. And this is the town of something. Poroson. A town of Poroson. In the middle of a grassy plain, perfect for pastures, and not a single crop field in sight either. So yeah, they probably live off livestock. Because usually every city of even like remotely decent size needs a layer of food production around. Usually it's fields, but because there are no fields there, my only assumption is pastures. Everything is pastures. Boring town indeed. And no food stalls. Could it be that the town itself is so frugal? It finds it hard to even, survive, let alone flourish? Could be. Could very well be. The town certainly does look plain. Certainly more plain than Pat thought. There are just a couple of random stalls here and there, but besides that, there is nothing really in the streets. A well and grey buildings. The town must not be doing all that well. I can't remember which show it was. Might have actually been a manga. Can't remember. In any case, the main group arrives to a city, and someone makes a comment. Someone sees a stall with jewelry and makes a comment of, "Oh, well, this city must be very prosperous. Why do you think it's prosperous? Well, because they can spare labor and resources on making art, right? If it was a city that does not prosper, all the gold would have been taken and minted into coin. All of the blacksmiths, all of the craftsmen would have been employed to make weapons and fortifications, or just working in the fields or whatever. But because there are people who have enough spare time, because there are people who do not have to work in occupations that are necessary, because there are materials that might not be used for the necessary things, and because there are people who might buy those unnecessary things, that means the city is prosperous. So this is like the opposite of that. There's not a single stall with, I don't know, leather bracelets or anything whatsoever, doesn't seem. Yeah, religious city of Ruvinhaigen. Yeah, Ruvinhaigen are the most willing to fatten their wall. It's the textbook example of a church in anime and textbook example of a church in general. Let's be honest here. And apparently Holo met a saint and bit him in the ass. Yeah, probably not as much of a glorious story as his arm being bitten off. And I agree with Holo, it is important that she only bit him, did not end his life. It is important because it firmly establishes her as a benevolent deity. Not as a wrathful deity, not as a, fickle deity. No, none of that. And she cares about that. She cares about her reputation. There's really nothing in this town whatsoever. Very cute dress. Agreed. And yeah, Ruvinhaigen is a city proper, has a lot of stalls, and apparently a lot of pickled food. Pickled in honey, specifically. Yeah, I was really taken aback a little bit by hearing of pickled fruit. To me, pickling means either in vinegar or in brine or lacto-fermented, which is, I guess, brine but left for longer periods of time. Fruit pickled in vinegar, no, not great. Fruit pickled in brine, not great either. Lacto-fermented fruit, that's just chunky wine. So neither of that fit my worldview, but I guess you can actually pickle fruit in honey, right? Honey doesn't spoil, so it also prevents whatever contents from spoilage. Makes sense. Makes perfect sense. It's basically their version of candying, right? Sugar is hard to come by, probably, so instead they use honey. So instead of candied oranges or candied apple or whatever, they have apple in honey or oranges in honey, assuming they have access to oranges in this place in the world, which they probably don't. Even spices take a long road by carriage, so I don't suppose they would be able to import fragile fruit from particularly far away. Yeah, it would be terrible if it was all bought out. Let's be fast about it. Heretics and devils hide among us in town, looking like normal people. Yeah, man, ha! Crazy story. Pepper. This was my interpretation of what happened. The merchant is trying to scam him because he's the godless creature or whatever, and he deserves to be scammed. But then Lawrence invokes the god. I have faith in God. So the merchant takes a little bit of a double take, right? Oh, okay, he's a man of God, and yeah, God kind of told us to be just, so yeah, I'm gonna take the scale that isn't tampered with, right? Because there's a scale on the left That's probably tampered. That was my assumption. Instead, he takes the scale on the right that is not tampered with. Yeah, but apparently not even invoking the name of God was enough to sway a godless creature that is a merchant. I am thirsty. I like this flashback here. Lawrence realizing that, hey, oh, okay, she has a plan. She's not saying that because she's actually thirsty. She's not petulant like that. She's saying she's thirsty because she has a plan. Because it matters. She's gonna do something. I like it. He's learning. Even saints cannot live without water. Here I thought that maybe it's some sort of a plan like his arm right here. I thought it was holding like a silver goblet. And my thoughts immediately went towards The Witcher 3, where Geralt was served wine in a silver cup in order to check if he's not a doppel, right? Because doppels and other magical creatures are burned by silver, so I thought it might be something like that here. But no, he's just holding the scales. I thought she wanted water to get the merchant out of the room to talk to Lawrence about something. But apparently not. Also, I wonder if it's on purpose or just accidental, but I find it interesting that she served water in a jug with a very narrow top instead of a cup or a chalice or like a wide-brimmed mug or something like that, right? That would be customary. And I wonder if it ties into the table or even the whole room indeed being crooked. Because if it was like a wide-brimmed chalice, right? Something like that, you place it at an angle and you see that it's at an angle. So it would be a dead giveaway. But because it's, first of all, opaque, second of all, very thin entrance, you can't really like look inside and figure out the level. Maybe. Maybe it's just a coincidence, maybe it's done on purpose. But it would make sense. Pepper from Ramapata. I assume their equivalent of India. In the kingdom of Lidon. 1 lumion, a gold coin for each weight. Yeah, 40-something weights, if I recall correctly. I thought initially that he's getting scammed. That they're talking silver for some reason. But no, they're talking gold, not silver, so it makes sense. 1 gold is, I would assume, 100 silver. Something like that, probably. And yeah, he wants Treni, of course. I accept. Yeah, don't be so hasty. Wait for your wife to give you her second opinion. Seems my vision has suddenly tilted one way. Oh, look, everything in this room is crooked. Is it just my vision getting crooked, or is the room crooked, I wonder? I love how everything they say here is so incredibly veiled that if you take it at face value, it absolutely makes... I mean, it makes sense, but not the kind of sense that they mean. And when you look into the meaning, it's only then you figure out that they're making a thinly veiled threats towards the merchant. Yeah, we know what you did. Yeah, I'm sure, we will forget many things. If we get a good price, I mean, shit, we're so drunk. We're gonna get so drunk, we're gonna forget what transpired here. Oh no, I'm getting sober. I'm starting to remember. My memory starts to work. You better take care. My memory doesn't go back. I love this little theater. In exchange, he wants armor. Standard, risk-free, and solid profit-making item. I actually like the fact that he got armor and not weapons. I wonder if it's actually significant as well. He probably would have made as much money selling weapons, if not more. And in the first place, weapons would take much less space than armor. So you'd think that they would be more profitable and just as much in demand as armor, but no, he took armor specifically. Again, I wonder if it's significant in any shape or form, or is it just coincidental? But it reads to me like he doesn't want to take part in people's creatures in general suffering, right? Like if he sold a sword, then that sword would cut down maybe one of Holo's brethren, for example, or it would cut down. Oh, damn. Or it would cut down some sort of a, I don't know, other deity or a human that just happened to grow animal ears or whatever, right? It would bring suffering, and he would take part in it. But because he's selling armor, he is only protecting lives, right? The person who wears that armor is going to be protected. It's not going to increase their offensive capabilities, it's going to increase their defensive capabilities. So Lawrence is saving lives while taking no part in taking any. Cool. I wonder if it's actually how it's supposed to be read, if it's the actual meaning here, but that's the vibe I got from him buying armor. I should be able to pay you back immediately and offset the credit. Yeah, I mean, sounds like a good deal. And yeah, what about the appraisal? After all, I have faith in God. And now I'm gonna come in, sober. So that's the thing. I know that you know that I know. So I'm gonna give you free reign, and you know that I know that you already wanted to screw me over, so now you're not gonna screw me over, right? This sort of a mind game here. High quality wine and dried sheep meat. There we go, we're gonna get a lot of it for cheaper, or even for free, maybe. Yeah, we must get peaches in honey. I really was afraid for Holo for a moment when they started talking about worshipping a pagan god and people's faces were being zoomed in. I thought that, holy shit, someone discovered it. Lawrence is sitting alone in a room right now. Holo isn't back yet. Right? That's what I thought. But no, she's back. Nicely tipsy, belly full of meat. And she wants some oil. And yeah, I mean, she's not wrong. He was able to make quite a profit because of her. It's not like directly money that she earned and gave to him, but it's money that he wouldn't have gotten without her help. So I would assume, I would say that it works for covering her debt. But I guess he's a little bit more literal about being paid back what he's owed. That's interesting thinking on Holo's part, right? If I pay the debt back, there's not going to be anything connecting us anymore. I'm gonna go my way, you're gonna go your way, right? Not particularly correct thinking, I don't think, but I understand the fear. I understand the fear that she's only accompanying Lawrence right now because she has to pay back the debt. And if she pays back the debt, well, there's nothing between them. She goes, her own way. She's free of the debt. She no longer has to accompany him. But here's the thing. Here's the keyword. Has to. She no longer has to accompany him, but she still can. And I don't think Lawrence would mind if she did. But again, I understand the fear. I understand the fear. She was probably rejected multiple times. She probably lost many people that she knew, and now she is desperately looking for some sort of a bond. Even if that bond is, negative, like being indebted, that's still a bond. That's still something that holds them together. And she's desperately looking for that. I hope Paro and Muri are doing well. Right. And yeah, there's no deadline. And of course, will you buy me the oil? What's gonna be next? Hair ties? Armor sells really well. Spices are best, but right, the prices between those two cities don't change much. And the gold is charged with an enormous tariff because, of course, the church wants money. Because the church always wants money. And you need to have connections within the church. You have to be, a devout believer, or at least on the surface, right? Like, underneath the devout believer surface, you can do all sorts of debauchery, probably with a bishop on your left and the pope on your right, right? Sitting in a strip bar, chugging wine. That's how it is. But on the surface, you have to be the devout believer, and most of all, you have to be a devout believer in their lifestyle. You can't join their club if you are against what they're doing. You can't join their club if there is a risk that you would rat them out for, I don't know, fucking underage children, right? You can't join their club if there is a risk to that. You have to be one of them, like fully and entirely the good, whatever veneer of good there is, and the bad. Makes sense. And this is like the biggest scam. They can get the seal of the church carved into the gold at the Holy Cathedral, and then the gold magically becomes fucking sacred gold. Because, of course, it's the same exact fucking gold. I doubt it has any sort of a magical property, but it's sacred, though. It's sacred, so, like, tenfold the price, easily. Can't really smuggle it, and yeah, I agree. It's better to save up your money in the honest way. You're gonna face the least problems, the least issues that way, if you're just making money honestly. An impromptu market, it seems. Couple of wagons were stopped. And the merchants, of course, take this as a chance to trade between each other, make some money while they still can. Mercenaries are moving, and yeah, we probably don't want to meet the mercenaries, right? From the north are moving southward. That's interesting that they're moving from north to south. Wasn't the expedition supposed to go north? To, kill the heretics and whatnot? Why would they be moving south in the opposite direction? Actually, interesting. Why would they be moving south? If glory and money is to be acquired north. My prediction, there is a war or some other geopolitical conflict brewing. Yeah, that's my vibe. There are countries having issues staying solvent to the point where they have to devalue their own currency. There are big shifts in local leadership. There are shifts in agriculture. The mercenaries are moving in the opposite direction. I don't know if it's like the normal amounts of unstable in this world, or is it increasing amounts of unstable? Kind of hard to tell, like I don't have a reference frame. But it is entirely possible that some conflict is brewing. And the detour is filled with wolves, that's like, whatever. Exactly, that's not an issue. Just talk to them, and if they don't get out of your way, just howl. Done. Easy. Type of human I hate is ahead of us. The sorcerer, who is just a regular, normal, usual shepherd. This is like... Apparently it's some sort of a secret sign among shepherds or whatever. It's a ritual used when meeting a shepherd, and I guess a sorcerer would be unable to read this? But if you know it, then why would a shepherd not know it? Well, why would a sorcerer not know it? I don't know. Yeah, now I'm sure that the person isn't a sorcerer. How exactly? I'm sure that God has brought us together today. If you're a good shepherd, I know you will treat us appropriately. Oh no, she's pretty! Oh no! Kraft has been... Lawrence has been awestruck by her. Oh, Holo's gonna be so jealous. It's gonna be glorious. It's gonna be glorious seeing her all jealous of the shepherd girl, but then still reluctantly agreeing to help. Because, of course, because she's a nice girl, because she's willing to help. Probably. That's what I assume is gonna happen. Episode 8, Fellow Traveler, and foreboding news. Fellow Traveler, who could it be? Some new character that we meet who's also traveling the Wolven Lands? Or could the fellow traveler be talking about Holo, because she's a fellow traveler to Lawrence? Foreboding news. This is actually what tipped me the most towards believing there might be a conflict brewing. Or it could be the wolves attacked the flock. I don't know. Could be something like that. We'll see. We will see, of course. Next week. Right now, though, I think that's gonna be it. That's gonna cover it. Good episode. I did enjoy it. Very slice of lifey, but that's perfectly fine in my book. That's really, honestly, perfectly fine. We closed off a whole arc. Now we deserve a little bit of a rest with just, regular, normal, usual, common trading, talking about honeyed fruit, right? Very nice low-key episode that I wouldn't mind if the entire series was just that, honestly. I legitimately wouldn't mind if the entire series was just we're going somewhere to trade salt for silk, and the merchant is trying to scam them somehow, and we have to figure out what the scam is, and then Holo figures it out, and she blows on the roll of silk and it unfurls, or she sneezes, pretends to sneeze, and the silk unfurls, and underneath the layer of silk, the rest of the bale is cotton. They were trying to scam us, right? I wouldn't have minded if the series was just that. That is not to say that I don't enjoy what the series is right now. Absolutely not. I very much do enjoy those like bigger things, bigger arcs as well. Absolutely, I do. But still, those little episodes like this one, like the in the previous arc, there was also that episode that was just just trading, just hanging around, trying to figure out what was the gold scam, right? Silver scam, sorry. Those things are also very, very, very fun. I like it. It's kind of like a detective show at times, but the detective work, the mystery is what sort of a scam is a given merchant pulling, or what are going to be the shifts in the economy, how's the price of silk gonna go compared to seafood, right? That sort of stuff that I very, very do enjoy. Yeah, good episode. Oh, I didn't switch to this view. Whatever. Good episode. I had much fun with it. But right now I say that's gonna be it from me for today. But maybe you guys have something more to add on the topic of this episode, of my reaction, my theories, stuff like that. Say so, please, in the comments down below. No spoilers, please. Spoilers can go to my Discord here, also in the description below. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe to be notified of future videos, not only Spice and Wolf, but also Yuuki, Yuuna, Kaijuu number 8, Kaito Otome, what else is there? Sentai Daishikkaku, plenty others coming in the future. Click the bell to be notified when I go live, because I do sometimes support the channel. If you want monetarily on Patreon, down below, where for $10 a month You get early access to non-seasonal shows like Yuuki, Yuuna, and for just $1 you get a role onto Discord and a place in the credits. You can also support me on YouTube directly through memberships, super thanks, super chats, stuff like that. And if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, you don't have to. Share my content, spread the word, it costs absolutely nothing and helps the channel a lot. And now, with that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my 1 through Patreons. QB, Without a Net, Zeren, Yuki, Ala, Ishtamu, Dr. Ward, Akamasar, Marsh, Fassel, and Hans Peter. And you can join them if you want without having to spill any water.